Students, to continue the previous class session here, let us understand what is meant by international patent law. A patent only protects an invention in one country or a region. Okay, like while there is no such things worldwide patent, international patent law can make it easier to get patents granted in a number of different countries. So as I told you, if you want to take a patent in each country, you must have a separate application going to be filed, because in the previous video I showed you, I talked about this with an exercise. Okay, say true or false, right? So please have a summary here. Understand that one need to have separate application forms for each country. So in different countries you need to have a different application to be filed. Okay, the Patent Cooperation Treaty makes it easier to file applications in multiple countries now. That is called as PCT. During using this treaty, one can apply for protection in over 140 countries through one centralized application process, which was not existing earlier. Okay, it has the same effect as filing multiple applications at the same time. So isn't it a beneficial one? That is called as the PCT, Patent Cooperation Treaty, where one can file the application at the same time. So to add on, Patent Cooperation Treaty is an international patent law treaty which came into existence in 1970. It protects a unified procedure for filing the patent. As I told you in the previous video, you have known that what all details have to be filled in the application. So the first come first serve basis, it's a new invention, you should declare all those things. Okay, it provides a unified procedure for filing the patent applications to protect inventions in each of its contracting states. But you should get it protected, filing is happening at the same time but in different states. So there are small differences or regulations which need to be satisfied. A patent application filed under PCT is called international application or PCT application. Okay, a PCT application does not itself result in the grant of a patent, since there is no such thing as an international patent. Please make a note of it. Okay, and the grant of patent is because according to our the laws, present laws, as I told you, it takes at least 18 months for giving a patent protection. It is after filing, and there should not be any objection in 6 months. All those details are there. Okay, and the grant of patent is a prerogative of each national or regional authority. The small differences, but filing can be done. There's no issues about filing. Okay, in other words, a PCT application means a patent cooperative treaty which establishes a filing date in all contracting states must be followed up with the step of entering into national or regional phases to proceed towards the grant of one or more patents. The PCT procedure essentially leads to a standard national or regional patent application which may be granted or rejected according to the applicable law in each jurisdiction in which a patent is desired. Please make a note of it. So you might file the patent application, but it depends upon the country. According to its own jurisdiction, it will take the decisions. I would like to add upon the concept of patenting a living organism. Yes or no? Of course. Earlier discoveries were of any organisms and related things were discoveries of nature, and it was unpatentable. In 1980, the US Supreme Court ruled out that the living organism bacterium, which was discovered by Anand Chakrabarty, which could digest the crude oil in the oil spills, could be patented. Okay, the court observed that patents can only be granted when living products could be seen as human-made inventions. So a biological patent is a patent or an invention in the field of biology that by law allows the patent holder to exclude others from making, using, selling or importing the protected invention for a limited period of time. The scope and research of biological patents vary among the jurisdictions and may include biological technology and products, genetically modified organisms and genetic material too, because many of them go for the study of the complete sequencing of the organism, and it can be patented. The granting of patents for living organisms is on one hand protection to the rights of inventions and a push to the advanced research and developments, but on the other hand it is depriving the rights of farmers, exchange of knowledge and material, and legalizing the biopiracy. So as a summary, a patent is a legal certification which gives a right to the inventor to protect his invention for up to 20 years, 15 to 20 years in specific territories, means specific countries. Patents can be granted for products like devices, systems, compositions, processes and methods. With patents, the inventor can exclude others from making, using, selling and importing his inventions. The patentability requirements has to be satisfied in order to grant a patent to an invention. Patent infringement is the commission of a prohibition act with respect to the patented invention without permission from the patent holder. The Patent Cooperation Treaty makes it easier to file applications in multiple countries and regions for protection of his invention. So the patentable products add-on from biology related is it can be novel microorganism, novel gene and peptide sequences, promoters, markers, vaccines, and even a new viral strain. These all can be patented in a biological sense, okay, microbiological concepts and even any biology related concepts. As discussed earlier, I think I have told you about this. A patent cannot protect an idea. Instead, the idea must be embodied in one or more of the following: a process or a methodology, a machine, a manufactured article, okay, a new composition. It can be pharmaceutical or a media, fermentation media, anything like that. An asexually reproduced and a new variety of plant. These all can be considered to be patentable. Added to this, talking about a microorganism, the most vital and important distinction between the legal practices of the India and developed countries is that India, which is a developing country, does not allow patenting of microorganisms that already exist in nature, as the same is considered to be a discovery as per the provisions of section 3D and therefore non-patentable. Please make a note of it. But genetically modified versions of the same microorganism that results in enhancement of some product is said to be patentable. Article 27(3)(b). There can be a question on this. 3D, section 3D means what? Like Indian law, which doesn't allow them to go for a patent of a microbe. The same, if it is beneficial, 27(3)(b), there can be a question on this. Okay, please make a note of it. Of TRIPS agreement allows member states to deny patents for plants and animals other than microbes and essentially biological processes for the production of plants or animals other than non-biological and microbiological processes. That means we can, like, there are some specifications only for plants and animals, it allows other than the microorganisms. But if you want to talk about microorganisms, only if it is really having some enhancement of a product, genetically engineered microbe can be used. But it has got its own precautionary measures. In the sense, any genetically modified organism should not escape into the environment. These are called as potential safety safeguards of genetic engineering and potential hazards of genetic engineering. Keeping that in mind, of course, they have framed certain laws. So as I told you, the US Supreme Court only took an initiative for Anand Chakrabarty's invention of the Pseudomonas putida for clearing the oil spills. It is a new jurisdiction that brought into picture to patent any biologically important organism, like it's called as biotech patentability. I would like to add a last point upon the patentability, that is on the related to genes. The patenting of genes or DNA sequences is popular in the US and the European Union and also in Japan. But however, patenting of genes and all was not allowed in India until January 2005, after which it has brought a third amendment and brought in a concept of going for a patenting of the genes also. Okay, So thus there was a really new amendment in the laws of worldwide and also in India, where they gave permission for the patenting of the genes also, and also the DNA sequences. I would like to share one more important thing. The outcome of Human Genome Project, USD and NIH and Celerov Genomics USA led to the controversial discussion of patenting of the express sequence tags like during the synthesis of complementary DNA, which is a 200 to 300 base pair of mRNA, which helped in forming a complementary DNA for research studies. Okay, this was one of the important thing which was also brought into light for telling about the promoters, the express sequence tags, which can be also being involved in patenting. So one can prepare a small tag of a nucleotide and that can also be patented when you are going to do a project like like on genetics, like human genome projects. This is called as expressed sequence tags. Okay, so students, with this information, I would try to conclude saying that there's a lot of importance given for, and one more thing is, when you're doing a patenting, they would not give patenting for all. Usually they will give patenting for usually a genetically modified bacteria, fungi, plants and animals which are involved in genetic engineering. Okay, the naturally available wild strains having an exception, but these things which are involving some laboratory works are involved into the patenting. Okay, patenting of DNA and gene sequences in a broad term means to refer the patenting of a process that involves in identification, isolation of DNA, or related to RNA also one can consider, but it should be mostly a genetically modified organism. Okay, with this information I will try to conclude, and in the next video we would study about the trade secrets and all. Okay, thank you, please take care.